Tonight, even Kenyan citizenship won't save him. And Edward Snowden succumbs to the pressure and puts a public response on Twitter. Hi, I'm Craig and welcome to Just Informed Talk. For those of you who are new to the channel, I always start by saying thank you to each and every one of my subscribers. You guys are the salt of the earth. You're what make this channel work, and I want to say thank you, thank you. Now, if you haven't yet, come to this landing page here, click the big red button and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, because as I always say, as soon as this information becomes available to me, I make it available to you. And read the comments and make sure to leave a comment if you have something to say. The comments are really the meat and potatoes of this whole channel, so I encourage you all to go check it out. Now, getting right into the Q post. This is the first thing that we see here. And we have Q giving us these two pictures and how are they related and what do they mean. Well, let's take a look at them. First, we have this one here. Now, this is the Q post. It's a screenshot of the previous Q post. And it says, when I'm done, it'll be like you were never even here. Then it has this Punisher logo, which is the TAC Force logo, and which was a company that I've hearing in the comments was started by the American Sniper, and we still are, the verdict's still out on that. We'll get back to that in a minute. But when we're done here, he'll claim Kenyan citizenship as a way to escape Q. Now he's looking at the timestamps here first, where you see March 9th at 2:41 in the AM and 8:52 AM. So a few hours later, you have Secretary Tillerson arriving in Djibouti or in Nairobi. He arrived in Nairobi from Djibouti, and he says, he underlines here, Secretary Tillerson arrives in Nairobi to meet with Kenyan leadership, discuss ways we can work together to counter terrorism and advance peace and security. So he's pointing to the fact that Q's giving us another proof here. This is another proof of Q. He's telling us, look, I told you about the Kenyan thing, and now we have Tillerson in Kenya doing this work on, and this is a tweet from the Department of State. So now we'll go on to the next one. It says, Uhuru Kenyatta had the great pleasure of welcoming my brother Raila Odinga, the Harambee House, where he had the opportunity for extensive discussions on matters Kenya. We have to come to a common understanding, an understanding that this country of Kenya is greater than any one individual, i.e. Hussein. I.e. Hussein. That is who they are referring to. And here's the article. You have these two political factions in Kenya who have been just complete rivals. And there's been even a lot of stuff going on where there was 150 people killed in the aftermath of the election, and there's been a stark divide. Now, was this Mr. Odinga somehow affiliated with Obama, or was it Kenyatta, the sitting president of Kenya? But anyway, they quashed whatever quarrels they were having, and now they embrace each other as brothers. Not surprisingly enough, shortly after Rex Tillerson visits. And what does that mean? That means the strings have been cut from Kenya. And that was going to be a way for them to just divide another country and conquer it by going in there and basically whatever actions were taken in that country, we all will yet to have seen the full scope of. But you guys, please let me know what you think of this in the comments. Help me out with the information, because I'm going through it fast and furious here. No pun intended. But we're going to get through it together, and I want to appreciate everybody. I want to say I appreciate everybody who's commented. You guys are really the salt of the earth. Thank you so much. Now, the next post says, Seals. Where there was once darkness, there is now light. Sea to shining sea. Godspeed. Q. And then you have @Snowden, Twitter, received 24D, Bravo 2G KVT, brackets 24RRQ. Now, I don't understand this. It's hard to research stuff like this when it seems like they're actually talking in code. But you guys are great at deciphering this stuff. All you autists out there, all you General Pepes and my Kekistanian army out there, you guys do me a favor and let me know in the comments what all this means. I would gladly wait to hear your responses, and I read through them. Trust me, I read through every single one, or I make the effort to every single day. It takes hours, but it's worth it. So now we have a code. I don't know if this is a confirm code, a kill code, or whatever. I really couldn't tell you. But it's certainly something to be deciphered further. I'm sure there's something hidden here in the numbers and letters, unless it is just a trip code or some kind of authorization code. Now, Q also goes on to say, an ANON post, Twatter in receivership in 24 days, shut him down. Then responding to that, Q says, 24 hours to respond. He did, smartly. Public view Q. Now, what's he referring to? I think he's referring to this, which is Edward Snowden's page, where you can see he's been tweeting. Now, I pointed this out a couple videos ago, if you guys want to go back and watch, where I pointed out that his last tweet up until 10 hours ago was a tweet he made on February 26th, 2018. Now, think about that. This is his public response, and this is really big, so I want to take you guys through it. So if you'll bear with me 1 second, we'll pull up some information. We'll get going on this one. So it all starts here with Edward Snowden tweeting out. It says, huge at Citizen Lab catches ISPs invisibly redirecting download requests for popular programs, injecting them with government spyware. Unencrypted web traffic is now probably critical in the wild vulnerability. 20 to 30% of top internet sites affected. Now, you go and you check out what it's saying, and it's taking you here where it's saying that this company Sandvine's packet logic devices used to deploy government spyware in Turkey and redirect Egyptian users to affiliate ads. Okay, so that's something to be looked at. It's basically what it's saying. If you read through it, is that the sites that you go that you trust and you download programs off of, i.e. whatever it is, whatever website you go to where you download an add-on or you download a plugin or something like that, that they can easily slip the spyware in that without it being detected, and you don't even have to give any permissions, and it just sits there in your computer forever. So Snowden's coming out and he's responding with these things. So I know a lot of people, I see a lot of division in the comment boards about Edward Snowden, about whether he's a black hat, whether he's a white hat, whether he's working for China, whether he's working for Russia, whether he's working for the United States. That all is yet to be determined. I have my own suspicion about where he stands and what he's doing. But I'm going to try my best to reserve that judgment until all the facts lay out where they may. But for now, it's not looking good for him, and I think there's a strong correlation between him and China and the Clinton Foundation and other high-ranking U.S. government officials. So that is all still yet to be determined, and we will certainly figure out more and more as time goes on. Now, he retweets a guy named Adam Banks here, and it says, your government can install spyware on your PC enabling surveillance that would normally be prevented by standard security features when you go to download legitimate software from a real website without requiring any error on your part. In some places, this is happening. And he retweets that, and now Edward Snowden responds to his own post here, and he says, this attack could have been prevented post-2013 when the IETE, the Internet Engineering Task Force, or IETF, considered including mandatory encryption as part of the new HTTP /2.0 standard, but they blocked it despite explicit warning that without that protection, users would soon face exactly the attacks we see today. Now it says on his, and then he retweets something else here, Matthew Braga, and it says on his blog, Ron Diebert has a post elaborating on this point, calling Sandvine deployment quantum as a service. Quantum attacks are considered among the most powerful weapons in the NSA's and its Five Eyes toolkit. Well, that's interesting. So then Edward Snowden he kind of puts another tweet out and says, Sandvine, the first Canadian, then U.S. company enabling Turkey, Syria, and Egypt to poison innocent users' web traffic with spyware, threatened at Citizen Lab to stop the report. Sandvine should be investigated by governments, not just academics and journalists. Okay. Then he retweets this guy, Matthew Braga, again, who says, it's worth noting that I haven't been dealing with our usual Sandvine PR person here in Waterloo, but an advisory firm specializing in business critical issues called the Brunswick Group out of Washington, D.C. They're repping Sandvine parent company Francisco Partners too. Now, this is another thing he posts here. He retweeted a picture of himself. It's a video of him. and we can certainly watch this real quick.
Hey, how's it going? Actually, your video shut off, but I can still hear you. So,
Okay.
Hey, there you go.
As you know, we have in this event the journalists and the human rights activists that were spied by the government. I wonder if you have any words for these people that are actually here listening to this conversation.
Well, first off, I applaud the courage in not letting this go. The easiest thing in the world would be to say what the government did is wrong. But I have a career to think about. I have a family to think about. I don't want to be engaged in sort of conflict and controversy all of the time. I want to move forward with my life. But that is what gives birth to impunity for the most serious crimes. It's that kind of thinking. There's this argument we hear again and again, country after country, language after language. You can hear this in Spanish, you can hear this in English, you can hear this in Russian, you can hear this in Chinese. They say, it doesn't matter how much power the government has, it doesn't matter how much they're spying on you. If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to fear. Don't worry about it, right? We're only going to use these powers against criminals. We know in Mexico, sadly, that's not the case. We have people with us now who will prove that. Privacy isn't about something to hide. Privacy is about something to protect. Privacy is the right to the self. Privacy is the foundation from which all other rights are derived. It's the kind of fountainhead from which all of these rights spring out. You want to have a free world. If you want to have an open world, you have to respect people's rights to be different. And that is what we call privacy. So thank you very much for all of the work you've done in teaching so many people about this around the world and in Mexico. Congratulations, and thank you so much.
Man, thank you. Thank you very much.
So there you go. That's the video he posted. Then he retweets this post here that basically just says how he was on CNN. I think it was a CNN Espanol. And then he talks about this meeting with Alan Jari. I don't know who that is. Not sure. It says it was a pleasure to meet you in person. I kept my... let's see. I kept my word at Snowden. May your voice never be silenced. Huh. If you guys have any kind of insight into that, please let me know in the comments, because there's just a lot here. You have Sandvine, the company that made this product. They do active network intelligence. Here's an interview with their chief technical officer, Alexander Havan. And if you guys want to go through this, you can go through it yourself by all means. It's certainly just something to be looked at along the line here. But how does this all come back to Q? Is this his response? It says smartly. So is this a positive response? Is he doing what they're asking him to do now, which is expose this? We can only speculate at this point because not enough information is available to make a lot of quantifiable theories. But I will look to you guys in the comments as usual. I want to say thank you all in advance for your comments and your thoughts, because for those of you who are new to these videos, just read the comments. You'll find so much valuable information, so many insightful, thoughtful people. Thank you. I can't thank you enough. So that's going to be about it for this video. It's going to be a shorter video because there's not much to go through other than what Q posted. And I want to say thank you all for watching, and come here. If you want to find a way to support the channel, the easiest way to support us is to come here to the front page and click the red subscribe button, and make sure you hit the bell for notifications, because as I always say, as soon as this information becomes available to me, I make it available to you. Another way you can help if you're trying to get more involved is to comment. Go down to the comment boards. That's the meat and potatoes. We have, as I always say, we have our own QAnon research boards on the comment threads of each one of these videos. So go in there, read through it, just start talking to people, collectively put ideas together. I love seeing the symbiotic relationship between each and every one of you, and how amazing it is to see you guys talk to one another and develop ideas. And then I like to go through and point out great thoughts, great prayers, great insights, and I'll use those from time to time. Most of the time, actually, I'll use a lot of insights from the comic board, and I appreciate it. So thank you in advance. Now, if you're looking to do a little bit more, you can come over here to my Patreon page, which is patreon.com, and it's patreon.com/justinformedtalk, or you can put in the search bar here, justinformedtalk, and you can pop right up to my channel here. This is the landing page. You'll come here, you can click the red button to become a patron, and you can check out my rewards and my goal, and you guys can earn a chance to have a direct email correspondence with me, Craig, or you can earn a chance to become a featured Patreon patron of one of my shows. So that's definitely something that's cool, and I want to thank you all in advance for coming here and checking that out. So right before we quit and get on with it, I want to say a couple words that are really important here. For those of you who don't know, God loves you. And if you're new to this channel, or even if you've been at this channel for a while, you know I like to mention this at the end, but it's the most important thing. That God is here for you. He loves you. And all you have to do is open your heart and accept His love into your heart, and then you will become a beacon of light. You will become stronger. You will have more depth in your life, and all the anxiety, depression, nervousness, fear, whatever it is, will slowly go away as you become more and more full with the light of the Lord. So put your faith in God. His grace is greater, and we definitely look to Him first. It's God, family, then country. And I want to thank you all for coming here and joining me in this journey. Now, that's going to be it for today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications. That's how you join the cause. Make sure you comment, and if you can't comment or do anything else, at the end of this video, scroll down, read through the comments. You'll probably learn something that you didn't know before. So I want to thank you all for watching. I'm Craig. This is Just Informed Talk. God bless and Godspeed.